I think that's one, guys. Got him. There it is. Holy cow. I cannot believe we found the frog. Oh my. Oh man, I am super excited. The creature that we're looking for tonight is probably one of the most bizarre animals that can be found in Australia, and we have featured some interesting things over the years on Brave Wilderness, but I can promise you, nothing compares to the turtle frog. We needed rain to find this frog, and the rains have come. You are not going to miss this. Finding a turtle frog is almost impossible because you have to be in the small remote desert they live in Western Australia while it's raining. And this only happens a few times a year. Yes! Yes! Next to no footage exists of this species. If we find one, this will be the very first high quality footage ever seen. Oh, stop the car, I see something on the road. First animal of the night, a really cool lizard. Oh my gosh, it's got a huge tick on him though. I'm gonna try to pull this off. Look at that, look at that tick.
Oh my gosh.
You see that? That is a big tick. And that is a really cool lizard. Very good sign for our search tonight. We're not exactly looking for shinglebacks, but this one was crossing the road, so we wanted to move him out of the way. You're welcome. All right, let's let you go off the road so you can continue on your way, and we'll continue on ours. This rain has the animals on the move. Like all amphibians, turtle frogs need moisture to survive and to breed. That is why they come up to the surface after it rains. Without this rain, the frogs will remain buried beneath the ground and impossible to find. To make matters worse, turtle frogs only come to the surface at night. We're going to have to look and listen closely to even have a small chance at spotting one. All my life, I've been a frog nerd. And I've been able to track down iconic species like the red-eye tree frogs and poison dart frogs of Central America. And I've also gotten hands-on with all different kinds of toads, from giants, oh, wow, to the most colorful, got it, like this extremely rare harlequin toad. However, the turtle frog has always been my grail animal, and tonight is the first time in my career I'll have a shot at catching one. But if we're going to do that, I'll have to rely on all my years of experience and animal catching tricks to track one down. Perfect habitat for the turtle frog. See that right there? That's sand substrate. Turtle frog, it burrows down up to 3 feet below the surface, so it really needs this sand to be able to do that. Okay, let's keep looking. We're definitely on the trail now. It's really a miracle in itself that we got prime turtle frog conditions tonight. Like seriously, all week long the forecast called for clear skies and no rain, but tonight, out of nowhere, the rain rolled in, and I have to say, it's making this adventure feel like destiny. Oh, guys, I got something. All right, so what you're looking at there is a spiny tail gecko, named for the spines on the tail, which are actually just modified scales, and they're soft, they're not sharp at all. Now these geckos have a pretty unique defense mechanism where they're able to actually secrete a chemical mixture from their tails. They like whip it at the predators trying to eat them, and it doesn't taste very good. The eyes of a gecko are probably some of the coolest eyes on the planet. They actually don't have eyelids, so they have to lick their eyeballs to keep them moist. Can you imagine that, licking your own eyeball? Sure glad we have eyelids. Love these geckos. Okay, we're gonna let this gecko go back in the bush and keep looking. Well, that's a good sign. We're continuing to see new creatures. Guys, I got one. Look at this frog. Holy cow, that is cool. Wow. We found our first amphibian of the night. It's not the frog we're after, but that is a great sign. That means that we're getting enough rain for the amphibians out here to come out of the soil. This is the western spotted frog, and just like turtle frogs, they only come out just after a rainstorm. This is not the frog we're after, but it's a good start. Let's let this one go. Keep searching. Perfect conditions. We just gotta keep looking. Got the rain, we're in the right spot. We've already seen one species of frog. This is like the sweet spot. This is what we need. Got everything except the turtle frog itself. After hours of searching, we weren't seeing any signs of turtle frogs. Luckily, my experience has taught me sometimes the best way to find the frog you're looking for is with your ears. you guys hear that? Shh, shh, shh. I think I heard one. Yep. You guys hear that? One more. Let's see if we can hear it one more time. If we hear it again, we'll try to find it. I think that's one, guys. Let's try to canvas this area in front of us here. Stop calling. We must be right next to him. Got him. Got a turtle frog. Holy mother. Oh my God. Look, there he is. There it is. I cannot believe we found the frog. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Hello. Come here, buddy. Oh my gosh. We have come so far to find this species. There is the turtle frog. Yeah, baby! Woo! What are the freaking odds? Guys. Oh my gosh! I cannot believe we got one. Oh. Hello. Have you ever seen anything like that in your life? This is one of the coolest creatures I have ever laid my eyes on. Let's just appreciate this super unique creature. What you're looking at is some of the first HD footage ever recorded of a turtle frog. I mean, this species is so rare, there's very little information to find about them. But here's what we do know about this bizarre little frog. Let's start with the name, turtle frog. Named for its appearance, the most unusual frog I have ever seen, but look at its head. That dome-shaped head with the black beady little eyes, and then the circular body looks like a turtle without a shell. This is one of the most unique looking frogs you will ever see. It looks like something out of Star Wars, Jabba the Hutt's relative. Some people say it looks like a little wad of chewing gum, and it certainly looked like that when we first saw it. I have wanted to film, I have wanted to find one of these frogs for my entire career. This is a big, big moment for me. If you can't sense my excitement after this, this is about as big as it gets for a frog nerd like me. Hi, buddy. Look at that pudge. Are you kidding me? Has to be one of the most unique looking frogs, but probably the cutest frogs as well. Super pudgy, super soft. Feels like a water balloon almost, and when it's walking across my hand, you can really tell how much liquid is in the frog. It's like a deflated water balloon, but it is a very delicate frog, but it's somewhat stout. Got a lot of power in those legs. I can feel it when it's crawling across my hand. It uses its stocky arms and legs to burrow into the soil. It really is incredible how something so small and soft can dig over 3 feet underground. And actually here, let me get out. I'm gonna take my pack off and get out a little bit of water because I don't wanna dry out the frog. One of the things you always wanna make sure you do when handling any amphibian is make sure you don't dry them out, and this water will help. Oh, hey, came to life there. Hey, buddy, it's all right. Oh my goodness. Endemic to Western Australia. It can only be found here, but that's not where the oddities end. In fact, the oddities begin with this species when it's born. It's one of the few species of frogs on the planet that does not have a tadpole stage. This frog begins its life with a full set of hands and legs. What's also unique about this species is that they have one of the largest eggs of all frogs in Australia. In fact, 5 centimeters is as big as they grow, and this frog is approaching maximum length. Now, there's a certain period of year where at the tail end of it, that it's breeding and it will actually call. That's how we were able to find this frog. And it was definitely a team effort. We've got Max with us here from Australia Wildlife Encounters. Max and I were slowly honing in on this little frog, and then I crouched down and there it was, just like you saw it right there underneath the bush, looking right back at us with those beady little eyes. And it was so unlikely for us to find this frog, guys. The rains were not supposed to come, and sure enough, they appear today, almost like out of thin air. A front came in, provided enough moisture for us to have a chance to put this frog in front of the cameras. And I am so excited you guys get to see it. Now, we think this is a male because of the way it was calling. And when they're mating, they have an extended honeymoon. Once a turtle frog locates its mate, they will both burrow together for months before actually breeding and depositing their eggs. This is a very unique species, guys. There's not a ton of information and very few studies of this frog. So when it comes to filming animal oddities, it doesn't really get any better than this. And I am just over the moon right now that we were able to come out here, our first time in Western Australia, our first time in turtle frog territory, against the odds, and sure enough, we were able to find one. Oh man, I am so excited we got to show you guys the turtle frog. What a cool frog this is! Guys, are you kidding me? Tell me in the comments section if you've seen a cooler frog than the turtle frog. I challenge anyone out there to name a more unique species of amphibian, because I do not know of one. All right, let's go put this frog back and head in for the night. Man, that was awesome. In the rainforest of Costa Rica lives a ghost. One that we have been chasing for many years. Yet, it has eluded us time and again. But tonight, that's all about to change. Hear that? Oh, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Hey everybody, I'm Mark Vins, and welcome back to another special adventure brought to you by B&H Photo. Tonight, we are going out in the jungle looking for a ghost. No, not a paranormal ghost, a living ghost, one that we will actually find if we can locate its habitat. This animal loves moving water, so in order to find out where we need to hike tonight, we need to use the light of day and our drone to see where the stream systems exist on this property. First things first, before we can fly the drone, we've got to set it up. And today, we are flying the DJI Mavic 2 Pro. This is a really awesome drone, but for us today, it's more of a reconnaissance tool so we can see the area that we're going to be adventuring in tonight. And liftoff. All right, we are up in the sky. Oh man. You know what? There's like all kinds of clouds coming in right now. This actually looks gorgeous. Check that out. So glass frogs, an arboreal frog that lives up off the ground, love river systems because that's where they lay their eggs and develop their tadpoles. Now, if we can locate water, there's a pretty good chance that we could put ourselves there and listen for the calls of the glass frog and then locate the ghost glass frog. Okay, I'm gonna fly due east and we wanna mark the ridges and the approximate distance to get to these streams and rivers and hopefully get eyes on one of the streams that's closest to us as a starting point. And we want to maybe sketch the shape and some distinct features to help us get there. Okay. So you see the ridge right in front of us, we'll call that ridge 1. And there's definitely a secondary ridge over top of it. Okay. And this is the great part about scouting with the drone. You really can see the topography in an area like Costa Rica, which is very mountainous and hilly and just confusing at night. I mean, right, Mario, you can easily get turned around out there in the jungle, but by having a map at our aid, it's going to make tonight's expedition that much more efficient. This vegetation is dense. Even from the sky, it is difficult to see anything in those trees. That's water. Got it. So you see the way that curves around? So over Ridge 1, and then on the downside of Ridge 2, the stream comes from the south and goes just north and then bends back west.
Yep.
And then you see that cluster of rocks?
Yep, I think that could be our kind of landmark, maybe our entryway.
Based on the fact that that was over 2,500 meters of flight, we're gonna estimate to get down here because of the terrain up and down, that's gonna be about another 2 kilometers.
Okay.
3 kilometers total in hiking tonight. Okay. And then you have a compass on your watch, which will really come in handy.
Yep. So we've got the map. We know where the stream is at. All we gotta do is wait until it gets dark. And of course, bring that drone back.
I hear it. There it is, yeah. So we did a manned launch, and right now we're going to do a catch landing. This is not for a novice drone pilot. Gotcha. All right, well, that's a wrap on recon. Let's head back and wait for darkness. As you can see, night has descended upon us, and it's time to search the rainforest for the ghost glass frog. Let's turn our headlamps on and hit the trail. I'm scanning around, I'm listening. I do hear something coming from over here. I think I hear a call. Hear that? It's coming from right up here. Let's check this out. Oh, yep, right there. Look at that. Our first glass frog, cool. Now, first things first, I'm just gonna leave it alone for a second so I get my hands wet. I don't wanna handle a frog with dry hands. Let me see if I can get this frog off its perch. Come here, little guy. Perfect. There we go. Okay. This is not the Elix or the ghost glass frog, but it's actually one of the smallest species of glass frog here in Costa Rica, and it's the Spinosa glass frog, otherwise known as the dwarf glass frog. One of the first distinct characteristics you will notice about the glass frog is, besides being that really cool translucent green, is their eyes are actually set forward as opposed to the side like we'd see in a red-eye leaf frog or some of the other frogs that we have here in Costa Rica. And that forward set eye pattern is what gives them that really cool Kermit the Frog look that they're so famous for. I think we've had it off its leaf for long enough. Let's put it back and keep searching. We've got a long night ahead of us if we're gonna find that ghost. We've gone about 1 kilometer east so far, and we know our final destination, or the water source that we're looking for, is about 3 kilometers east. Looks like we need to go a little northeast. Mario, you seeing that?
Yep, according to my compass on my watch, yeah, if we go in this direction, it'll be kind of slightly northeast, and then I think we'll get on that eastern trail as well.
It's funny, when you first step foot off trail, there's always this sensation that comes over you. It's just like a heightened awareness. Walking on the trail feels safe. Walking off the trail feels hazardous just by nature. So you tend to move a little bit more deliberately, and you see more. It's really an awesome thing to get off trail. You've got a little bit of groundwater starting here. That means the bigger stream is definitely nearby. Let's head on here and get to the start of the stream.
Dude, fertilance.
Where?
Huge.
Let me see.
Holy smokes. Look at his head.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Whew. That is a formidable snake right there. Good spot, Mario. Do you want the snake hook?
No, I don't think we're gonna mess with it. Just gonna get a nice shot of it. So the fertilance relies on its cryptic coloration to blend into the environment. And an animal in this position could stay in wait for hours without moving a single muscle. The name of the game is waiting when you are an ambush predator. And a snake like this has all the time in the world to wait for an unsuspecting prey item.
That is exactly why you have to watch every single step you take out here, because your next step could be on something like that fertilance, and that'd be a very bad day for us. It looks like it's flattening out a little bit, which is good news for us. We can really start looking. I just heard a glass frog, guys. Up this way. It's a very quick chirp. It's like a... Hear that? Oh, guys, we got one. Yes! Oh man, I knew I heard one. All right, here we go. Hands wet. Gonna gently take it off the leaf. I am so excited to show you this frog, and you're going to see why we came all this way to show you the ghost of the rainforest, the ghost glass frog. How cool are those eyes? So cryptic and so unique. In my opinion, this frog has the coolest eyes in all of frogs in Central and South America. We're gonna break out the lights, we're gonna break out the macro lens, and we're gonna bring you in close so you can get a good look at why this frog is so special. Mario, you got that macro lens ready to go?
Yep, got the lens and the EOS R on the tripod.
And I've got the ghost glass frog. Oh, looking right at you. I think it sees its reflection in your lens there and is like, who's that? That looks like me.
Hey, buddy.
Let me help you there, Mario.
Okay, back it up just a little bit, right there.
Trying to remain as still as I possibly can for Mario's shot right now so everyone at home can see those magnificent eyes. They look cool?
Yeah, they're kind of reticulated. They got this pattern on them. I'm gonna pause there. Let's try to get a different angle on him.
Okay. Just carefully nudge it this
How's
way.
it doing? Is it doing good?
Oh my goodness.
That's good. Let's
cool
get
right
that.
there.
Let's get its little pads.
Yeah.
So this species does not have a completely transparent ventrum. However, I could see a little bit of the white sheath of intestinal tract inside of its stomach. And I could actually see like the beating of the heart.
I'm glad you brought that up, Mario, because a lot of people think that all glass frogs have a completely transparent stomach, and that is not true. In fact, it is more of the exception than the rule when that does occur. Now, if you have seen our previous glass frog episode, that was a species with a completely clear ventral side where you could actually see the heart beating and the blood flowing through the frog, which was pretty amazing. Another cool thing about the ghost glass frog, it is actually the largest species of glass frog in Costa Rica. So kind of fitting that we started tonight with the dwarf glass frog or the Spinosa, which is the smallest, and we land on the ghost glass frog, which is the biggest, but still pretty small. It's winking at you. I think he just complimented you, Mario. It's like, wink, that's a great shot. Well, I hope you see now why it was worth the effort to come all the way down here to find the ghost of the rainforest, the ghost glass frog. And I do want to give a special thank you to our friends at B&H Photo for sponsoring this episode and putting together a number of amazing deal packages for everybody at home. So if you go to www.bhphoto.com/brave right now, you can take advantage of those exclusive offers. Oh, and don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss another adventure with me and the crew. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you next time. All right, let's put this guy back on his leaf and head home. In today's video, we are searching deep into the jungles of Borneo, on the other side of the planet, looking for some of the most prehistoric creatures that still are alive today. I'm talking about creepy crawly animals that could have lived right next to the dinosaurs. And if we're lucky enough, we might even come across the grail animal, the animal that I want to find the most, the Trilobite Beetle. All right, you guys ready? Cool? Let's get into it. Come on. I'm gonna be looking for stumps, old rotten logs, flat rocks, things that we can flip that might conceal some of the creatures that we're trying to find. Let's make our way down here to this creek. Great. Nothing. Let's go over here. Oh. Really thought that when that started to move, that was gonna be a home run. All right, so we're making our way deeper into the rainforest here at Kinabalu. Ooh, big earthworm.
Whoa! Oh, that's a monster.
Yeah. Hefty. It is not squishy at all. It is really like super tough. Here, Andrew, feel the
Whoa!
it's getting slimy.
Whoa!
Isn't that crazy?
Super slimy. Oh no!
This worm just took up. Oh, look at this grub.
Ugh.
Even better. Check out that bad boy. Oh yeah.
Oh!
Oh gosh. Thanks, buddy. All right. I think we're done with this grub.
This was one gross log.
Yeah. Let's keep going. I know the Trilobite Beetle is out here. We've just got to find it. If you're ever out flipping in any environment, whether it's rocks, logs, leaves, whatever it might be, always be considerate and try to replace the environment just how you found it. Watch your step there, major roots. Oh my goodness. Guys, look at the size of that millipede. Hang on, let me see if I can get it. Now some of these can emit a really nasty odor, so I don't want to spook it. You see if I can get it crawling on my hand. Look at the length of that millipede. Probably approaching 5 inches in length. And millipedes, of course, get their name because of all those legs. Millipede means 1,000 feet. Borneo is actually home to the longest millipede in the world. Now, I don't need to worry about this millipede biting me. The only thing you really need to worry about when it comes to millipedes are their toxicity. Some of them are poisonous, but they do feel really strange. Feeling all those little legs grip onto my fingers and crawl across. Andrew, stick your hand out real quick. I wanna show you what this is like. Let's put it on your finger. Don't worry, it won't bite. There you go. What's that like?
Whoa, that's crazy feeling.
They have amazing grip. And they use that grip to climb up and over logs and terrain out here in the rainforest. Well, that's a good start to our adventures here in Borneo. Let's go find something truly unique. Come on. All right, so far, so weird. We're finding all kinds of cool stuff. This environment is perfect for a trilobite beetle. They love tropical forests just like this, with tall tree canopies that allow very little light to reach the ground. Ow, nothing. No trilobite beetles yet. I really thought we'd see one by now. Covering a ton of ground. Probably hiked at least 4 miles already. Oh man, look at this snag. Oh, here we go. Another kind of millipede. This one's even cooler than the last one. What you're looking at is an armored millipede. They're called armored millipedes because you can see the segments of its body have these pronounced ridges, making it look like body armor. This is something that you could imagine seeing in the time of the dinosaurs. It looks like a living fossil. And here's something really cool about these armored millipedes. Let me show you. If there's ever a situation where this millipede feels threatened, look at what it'll do. It rolls itself into a tight little ball, and you can see how all those armored plates that are really rigid can protect the soft underbelly. Starting to must. Smell that. Actually, it doesn't smell that bad.
Whoa, it smells sweet.
Right? Like cherries. I'm not kidding, guys. This millipede smells like those red cherries that come in the syrup. What are they? Maraschino?
Maraschino cherries.
Maraschino cherries.
That's exactly what it smells like.
I can't believe that. I expected it to smell like musty and foul, but it actually smells kind of good. If anybody knows, tell us in the comments why this millipede is putting off an odor that makes it smell like cherries. So weird, but so cool at the same time. All right, guys, well, I would say this adventure is heating up. Every creature we're finding is getting more and more bizarre. Let's put this armored millipede back and keep heading down trail. Sometimes when you're flipping, you forget to just look. So I try to always make a rule of like 3 flips, observe. Oh, wow. Got a bit of a break in the canopy here. A lot of light. Oh, look at that hole. Bet something lives in there. Whoa, look at this log snag. Oh! Guys, I got something right there. Here, can you throw this in my backpack real quick? I'm gonna need both hands. Put your cameras right there. We got a Trilobite Beetle. Hang on. Nobody move. Got it. Got it. Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh, we got one. Huh. Yes! Dude, Trilobite Beetle, baby. Woo! Oh man, I am pumped. If you guys are wondering, and if you can't tell, this never gets old. Finding a new creature for the first time, this is why I do what I do. This is what I love about making videos on Brave Wilderness, discovering creatures like the Trilobite Beetle. Wow, I feel like a little kid again, guys. Okay, first of all, it is a beetle. I know it looks a lot like the millipedes that we found earlier on this adventure, but it is not a millipede. And it gets its name because it looks like a trilobite, which of course trilobites have been extinct for hundreds of millions of years, and we only know them by their fossil remains at this point.
Now, I've actually dug up trilobite fossils in Utah before that were over 500 million years old, and I have to say, those fossils really do look like the trilobite beetle that you see here today, especially those upper body segments.
This is nearly a living version of an animal that looks like something super prehistoric. Right away, first glance, you're thinking millipede. Then you see how it slinks its body along, and you're like, man, is that some kind of worm? Is that some kind of larva? It kind of looks like a helgramite like we've seen along the streams in North America, but it's definitely not. And then you go to the tip of the head there and you see that tiny little head with its beady little eyes and its two little antennas sticking out. Look at its abdomen, guys. It almost moves around like a little inchworm. It has like a little foot at the back of its tail and just beep, inches along. As it's crawling around, of course I feel the little tiny legs making contact with my skin, but I'm also getting this like wet sensation. And I've noticed, if I flip it upside down, that little foot. Yeah, that little pad right there, it's wet. I can feel it slinking across. And I don't know if it's like laying down a track of pheromone or what, but it's cold and it's moist and it's weird. It's very weird. And they're very rigid. It's got a cool feel. Andrew, you gotta try it.
Whoa.
See what you think.
Whoa. It's like she has a suit of armor on.
Totally, and it is armored. That is a defense mechanism because look at how slow she moves. This is not a fast creature, so it's gonna rely upon that armor to ward off predators. Also, the aposematic coloration. I'm gonna guess that this insect has a pretty foul taste. And what's even weirder than its appearance is how different it is from its male counterpart. Let's take a look at the male version of this trilobite beetle right here. What? Are you kidding me? And here's the thing, guys. Scientists were puzzled by this for over 200 years. When this creature was first discovered, they could not figure out what the male of the trilobite beetle looked like. In fact, it wasn't until the 1980s that a scientist actually followed around one trilobite beetle for days and days and days, and it saw them mate. That was the only way scientists were able to find out the male version of this species, because the female is just so unique. And not anything against the male version of this insect. Cool looking beetle, right? But nothing is gonna top the cool factor of this female trilobite beetle. And this is probably gonna go down as one of the strangest creatures I will ever get to present to you on Brave Wilderness, the Trilobite Beetle. Yes! I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, let's go. Whoop. Let's go put this beetle right back where we found it. Today, I'm taking you on an adventure with me to look for horn lizards. Let's go! All right, so it's pretty windy out here today, which could pose some problems for finding horn lizards. Horn lizards, as we know, are a very small species of reptile, and they're gonna want to be taking shelter today out of this wind. Not to mention the sun is behind a lot of clouds, so those ectothermic reptiles are definitely gonna be hunkered down trying to keep warm. Now, we're also hopefully gonna find out later, if we find one, are they dangerous? Are they dangerous to hold? Are they sharp to touch? That's something that I'm going to reveal later in this video. All right, cool, here's a cool plant. You can see this creosote bush has already blossomed. This is my favorite desert plant because it's what gives the desert its smell. That beautiful aroma that you get after a rainstorm is because of this plant. And you can actually experience that without rain. All you have to do, take a little sprig, you rub it in your hands. I do this every time I'm in the Southwest. These are all over the Southwest. And then drop. Oh man, I love that smell. But another cool thing about the creosote bush is it makes a great hiding spot for smaller animals, including the horned lizard, today's target species. So you can bet every creosote bush we pass, I'm gonna be looking underneath. All right, Corey, time to move on. Here's a cool barrel cactus. Look at that. Its spines are super sharp. You don't need to worry about ankle breakers out here. You gotta worry about ankle shredders. Look at that. So we couldn't come on an adventure out here without addressing one of these. The Joshua tree is a very unique species. It's the tallest and largest of the yucca, and they are extremely sharp. Come on in here real quick, Corey. Look at this. Should I show everybody just how sharp these really are?
I think so.
Okay, okay, you guys ready for this? You've seen the cholla. It's time to take a step up to the Joshua tree. Ready? 1, 2, 3. No way, guys. That would literally go straight through my hand. Corey, reach out and feel how strong.
Oh my God.
That is.
That is rigid.
And they are razor sharp. What's really cool about this plant is that they are actually ancient. These trees can live up to 500 years old, and they take about 60 years to grow into a mature plant. So this one is at least 60 years old. Now, they can grow quite a bit taller than this. They can actually extend up to heights of 40 feet. Okay, time to find those lizards. Horned lizards are some of the coolest reptiles in the Southwest. There's many species. Certainly we found them before on Brave Wilderness, but we're looking for a special one today. One we have not seen yet on video. So far, no luck. As we know, washes are a great place to find reptiles, specifically snakes. So we just wanted to come up here real quick and see if anything's moving. We found the desert horned lizard, a baby, a juvenile. I'm gonna grab him. Ready, Corey? 1, 2, 3. Got him. Hello! Look how beautiful he is. Okay, here, let's get down out of the wind. This is a good spot. Oh yeah, definitely much more out of the wind. This is a juvenile desert horned lizard. Look at how cute this little reptile is. Let's tell everybody at home all about you. Now, although their appearance is quite spiky and ominous, I can tell you that all of those are nothing more than modified scales. The only real sharp part is that crown around their head, and even those are very dull. Now, the crown of horns on the desert horned lizard is actually a lot shorter than that of the regal horned lizard. You may have seen our past videos in Arizona where we found the regal horned lizard. This is a different species, but it is one of 3 horned lizard species that has that defense mechanism where they can project blood out of their eyes. Notice this horned lizard did not do that. They really have to be agitated to display that defense mechanism. And what that is, it's actually pretty bizarre. These lizards have 2 veins that connect to their ocular sinuses, and they have the ability to constrict those veins to stop the blood flow from the heart. Now, when that pressure builds up, they can release it in such a force that it breaks through the membrane and shoots out up to 4 feet. Wow! Oh, look at that cute little tail. Cool pattern on that tail. Very flat for a horned lizard. But I just love the coloration of the desert horned lizard. Those beautiful whitish grays and browns, almost a green hue. They have the outer line of orange and tan on the cheeks. Man, you are so cool looking. And I can't believe we found you underneath a creosote bush that we were talking about just earlier is a great place for smaller animals to take refuge in wind and sun. And like I mentioned earlier, this is just a hatchling, a tiny desert horned lizard. But if it's lucky enough, it'll grow up to be 3 to 5 inches in length, which is about 3 times your size. So you got a long way to go, buddy. But we're gonna put you right back where we found you so you can get well on your way, right? Right. What a special way to end our adventure here in the deserts of Nevada, finding the desert horned lizard. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, let's put you back. There's the creosote bush and your home. Here we go. Have a good day. Thanks for hanging. We're back in Queensland, Australia, about to head off for another epic tide pool adventure. And we absolutely love these tide pools because they're jam-packed with super unique creatures, including some of the most deadly on Earth. So if you're ready, it looks like the tide's headed out, which means it's time for us to get our feet wet and try to find something we've never seen before. Okay, let's go. So you'll notice that all of the surface of the rocks right now is wet and slippery. We want to move extremely slow. The last thing we want is for someone to take a nasty spill because we're moving too fast. Looks like there might be some more pockets ahead. Let's head up a little bit further this way and make moves toward the point. Hey guys, I think I got a crab here. Got him, haha! This is a swift-footed shore crab, and they are very difficult to catch because, like their name, they're very swift. Now, these crabs are very, very common in these tide pools. In fact, we were here last year, and I caught one and took a photograph and put it on Instagram, and it was one of my most liked Instagram posts of our entire production last year, but unfortunately we could not catch one again to get it on camera. So I'm really happy that I was able to find one today to show you guys. This one does feel like it did just molt, which is perhaps why it was a little easier to catch and maybe a little bit slower. I can tell that because its shell is slightly soft. But what's really cool about crabs is they're sort of like the custodians of the tide pools. They're like the cleanup crew. They're opportunistic omnivores, so they're out here eating a lot of the dead things and all the carrion, and they also eat some of the plant life, including some of the algae and some of the plankton scum that washes up. So they do a very good job at managing these tide pools and keeping them pristine for all the other creatures. So thank you for doing that, and we're gonna let you go now so you can go about your day. See you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. There he goes. Oh, look at this. This tide pool is brimming with life. It's a lot of fish. A lot of fish around here. Wait a second. That is a cone snail. And cone snails are very venomous. So what I want to do real quick is I'm going to place the cone snail on this glove. This is actually sting proof and bite proof to use when you handle venomous creatures. All right, there you have it. You can see that patterning on the shell, and that's how I was able to identify it as a cone snail. Some might say this is actually an aposematic coloration because of how venomous this creature is. You can actually see its foot reaching out to right itself right now. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's talk about what makes a cone snail such a lethal predator. They're actually armed with a very specialized radular tooth up by their mouth that can actually shoot a venomous barb out like a harpoon to dispatch their prey. Now this barb is laced with a neurotoxic venom, so it immediately paralyzes the prey, so then the snail can catch up and consume it. Because some of them actually eat fish, and those cone snails are actually very dangerous to human beings. So if you're ever gonna come out shelling or pick up a snail in this region of the world, you definitely wanna be aware of what a cone snail looks like before you do so. All right, let's put it back and see what else we can find out here in the tide pools. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is we've already found some pretty cool animals. The bad news is the weather that's been pushing through the last few days is really not letting this tide drop quite as low as I thought it would. So I have a GoPro wearable that I'm gonna throw on my shoulder, and I'm gonna head out there with this net, get in those rocks and hope to get lucky. Whoa. I'm glad I moved that mic pack. Nothing around here. I'm gonna move through this way. Getting a little precarious. Oh boy. Woo! I'm really glad the mic pack's on this side and not that side, because I just got drilled. The storm surge is for real. Okay. Let's make our way around here. Getting soaked. Nothing. Seen a bunch of fish darting in and out. Hold on. What's that? There's something right there. An eel! Oh my goodness. Check this out. Wow. Look at that. Okay, I can't keep it out of water for too long. We gotta go find a spot to do the presentation. Let's go over here to this pocket. Wow. I think what I wanna do to present this eel, because I can't really handle it out of the water, I'm gonna put it in one of our cubes. Here, can somebody hold that eel in the water there, just like that? Okay, cool. Let me get my pack off. Let's fill this up with water. Okay, this is a delicate little maneuver. Now, got this real quick. Okay, got it. Perfect. Yes. First things first, let's talk about the type of eel that we found here. This is a snowflake eel. It's called a snowflake eel because, as you can see on its side through the center line, it has all these beautiful patterns in the shape of snowflakes. Now, an eel is actually a fish, not a snake. A lot of people confuse these animals with snakes, with sea snakes, and they are not venomous like a sea snake at all. Although they do have razor sharp teeth. In fact, they have 2 rows of teeth on the top, 1 row of teeth on the bottom, and then get this, inside their throat, they actually have another set of jaws called the pharyngeal jaws, which is an inner jaw structure that it uses to actually munch on its meals and draw in food as it has the rest of the prey item clasped in those front teeth, which is pretty creepy if you think about it, but a highly adapted mechanism that has allowed these eels to thrive in ecosystems like these tide pools in Australia. Wow, do you see that? It's trying to bite its reflection. Now, eels in particular are actually fairly aggressive animals. They're actually one of the animals we have to worry the most about when we're out there diving. They don't really back down. They're very courageous creatures, and they're not really afraid of human beings. And they have been known to attack divers at times when you get too close. So whenever we see eels underwater, we always want to keep our safe distance from them. But in a unique situation like this, I'm able to take an eel and put it in a container and get it right up close to the camera. That is so amazing. Now, eels have extremely poor eyesight. Even though it has very beautiful eyes, those bright yellow eyes on each side of its head, they really can't see very well, so they rely heavily on their sense of smell. Their sense of smell is incredible. In fact, if we get a tight enough shot, you can see it has these little yellow appendages coming out of its nostrils, and it can use those to direct its sense of smell. So it's a pretty cool little adaptation that it has. And these animals, like most morays, can filter water by opening and closing their mouths and then dragging the water across their gills for respiration. Well, I say that caps off an excellent adventure today. We came back out to Australia's tide pools to find something we've never found before, and lo and behold, we find our very first eel. Man, this is awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this adventure. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't done so yet. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, let's let this one go and head home. This is a very deadly pathogen, and we have to use extreme caution at this point. Okay, so that drop probably has enough brain-eating amoeba on it to take out everyone in this room.
To think, by just enjoying a simple swim in a lake or river, this silent assassin could be invading your body, only to eat you alive. Now that is quite the nightmare. But how common are they? As someone who's always been drawn to the water, I wanted to get to the bottom of this mystery to understand where these parasites really lived. To do so, I partnered up with my good friend, Dr. Hunter Hines, who is a microbial ecologist. We gathered some supplies and we headed out on an adventure into the swamps of South Florida, where we hope to find the dreaded brain-eating amoeba. Needless to say, I had no idea what I was really getting myself into.
So, this is a caged bottle sampler.
A caged bottle sampler.
So we load the bottle into the cage, and the cork's actually really important, Mark, because we're trying to sample these amoeba, and they live in the sediment-water interface, which is that zone at the very bottom of the swamp. So this thing is weighted. We're gonna throw this into the water, let it sink down, then we're gonna pull the cork, obtaining a sample from that zone. You see all the bubbles come up?
Oh yeah, there they are.
The bubbles stop, we're ready to reel it in.
Look at that. That is some seriously dirty water. Now, Hunter, I won't, but if I were to drink this, how sick would I get?
Probably very sick. Not from the amoeba, but don't drink it.
All right, well, let's put the cap on. Sample 1 in the can. How many more do we have to go?
Quite a few.
Okay, let's get to work. You know, Hunter, I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but I think I might be good at this. We've got some good samples. I mean, we've got the surface samples, the bottom samples. It's dirty, it's smelly, it's warm. How do you like our chances of finding a Naegleria fowleri today?
Mark, I think we have a great chance to find this amoeba here. So all that's left really is to get back to my lab and take a look at the samples.
All right, man, lead the way.
Let's do it.
As I entered the building marked with biohazard signs, reality set in that we were likely carrying a lethal pathogen in our bags. And probably more than one. Hunter and I immediately got to work sorting through our field samples and labeling who collected each bottle. Using our pipettes and a steady hand, we then carefully prepared slides for a better look under the microscope. We were offered glimpses into thriving microbial worlds, filled with all sorts of bizarre organisms. However, it became quickly apparent that searching each of these samples, one droplet at a time, was an impossible task. So we decided to create an environment in which only the brain-eating amoeba could survive. This process is known as incubation, and it would require heat and a little bit of patience, as we would have to come back the next day to discover if we indeed were successful in finding our microscopic monster. If there are live cultures of this pathogen thriving in the incubator, we would need to proceed with an abundance of caution. In order to do that, we would first have to suit up in our biosafety gear.
So this is a potentially dangerous situation. This is a very deadly pathogen, and we have to use extreme caution at this point. Like we said, safety protocol has definitely leveled up. We have on our protective gear, we're going to be preparing the slides underneath this biohazard hood. And Hunter, do you want to give us a quick rundown of why we're performing the slide prep here?
Yes, this biosafety cabinet, it's creating an airflow, so all the air is staying within there, keeping us protected from this pathogen and giving us a sterile environment to work in.
Got it. So basically, everything past this barrier is potentially contaminated with this pathogen. And even after we're done with our slide prep, Hunter will perform a sterilization procedure to make sure none of these amoeba can crawl out of here, because the only place we want to see Naegleria fowleri is underneath the microscope.
Let's go take a look, Mark.
Wow, there they are, look at them. Those are brain-eating amoeba, Naegleria fowleri.
And the reason it's called brain-eating amoeba, that's exactly what it does. This amoeba will enter your brain and you will die from it.
And almost all cases that have been documented are fatal. Very few people have survived an infection of brain-eating amoeba.
Almost 100% fatality rate, something like 98% in America, and just a handful of cases there's been survivors, yeah.
I mean, you're scrolling around now, and it's very clear to me that there are hundreds, if not thousands,
thousands
of the brain-eating amoeba in our slide. And Hunter, do you want to describe a little bit about what the amoeba does to the human body if you are unfortunately infected with one?
So the amoeba, it will enter your brain if you're swimming in a freshwater lake or pond and you inhale that water through your nose and it's full of amoeba. It will actually go up the cribriform plate, which is a porous bone behind your nose, and that's where your nerves come down, your olfactory nerves, so you smell. The amoeba follows these nerves up into the front part of your brain where it begins to feed on it.
So your frontal lobe would be a buffet for Naegleria fowleri.
Exactly right, yeah.
And you know, just to put it out there too, because getting water up your nose is a pretty common thing. I mean, I'm sure everyone who's watching this has had that experience at least once or twice in their lifetime. And just because you get water up your nose in fresh water doesn't mean that you need to be overly concerned that you're going to be infected with this pathogen. It's extraordinarily rare.
Yeah, I mean, you think about just here in Florida, there's millions and millions of interactions of people in the water every year, and there's only ever a handful of cases of this, so it's very, very uncommon.
So Hunter, for all the bad things that Naegleria fowleri are capable of doing, What are some of the good things they're doing?
Yeah, so it's actually really important in ecosystems. It's feeding on bacteria. It's a really important member of this microbial loop. It's the foundation of food chains, essentially. And that's true also in the human body. I mean, Mark, several pounds of you is made up of bacterial cells, which are non-human, and they're essential to your survival.
Are you sure?
Positive, yeah. Unfortunately, some microbes get into the wrong place at the wrong time. They can cause us harm, but the vast majority of them are essential to our survival.
I'm sure anyone out there who hears about a brain-eating amoeba rarely considers them essential to the environment, but they do maintain the balance of their ecosystem.
Yeah. The amoeba doesn't want to be in your brain any more than you want the amoeba there. Yeah.
For sure. Hunter, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, Mark. Thank you so much for featuring the microbial world, and looking forward to next time.
Us too, man. Well, we love it. I hope everyone at home loved it. Until next time, I'm Mark Vins.
I'm Dr. Hunter Hines.
Be brave.
Stay wild.
We'll see you on the next microbial adventure. All right, guys, it is the wee hours of the morning here in Western Australia, and we woke up early because we are trying to find one of the world's smallest marsupials, the honey possum. These tiny creatures only live in Western Australia and are rarely ever seen because they are super quick, hopping and bouncing from tree to tree. Now, while they are smaller than a mouse, they are actually related to koalas, kangaroos, and wombats. And if I'm able to catch one, I'm going to show you why this is one of the most impressive and smallest mammals in the entire world. Now, these creatures are very agile. In order to have any chance of getting one up close to the cameras, we're going to need to use some technology to aid us. So what we have here is a thermal scope. You can see the scanner here, a live feed on the phone, and it will detect any body heat coming off of these small possums. And if we are able to spot one on the scope, we're then gonna race out of the car and try to get hands-on with this super cool and super tiny marsupial. Joining us on our possum search is Max Jackson from Australia Wildlife Encounters. If there's anyone who can spot a creature in the outback, it's him. All right, so we're gonna start our search by looking for plants that flower, because these honey possums live on a diet completely made up of flower nectar. So if we find flowers, that's going to be a good indication that there'll be honey possums in the area. This heathland habitat is perfect because typically at all times during the year, there's always going to be something in bloom. It didn't take long for Max to guide us to a location full of orange banksia flowers, a favorite of the honey possum. Unfortunately, by the time we got there, the day's temperatures rose and the thermal cameras became less and less effective, making it difficult to spot the tiny warm-blooded possums apart from the hot banksia trees. So we decided that although we found our location, we would need to return back the next morning for another try.
Up there.
That's something.
That, it's on a flower too.
That's a possum.
That's a possum. Look at it, that's totally a possum.
We got it. You can see the thermal scope is picking up a small creature at the top of this flower. Hopefully that is the honey possum we were after. This is awesome. All right, let's go. Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see him. I definitely see him, man. He's flying around there.
All right, do you want me to hold, stand back and you see if you can go for a grab?
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on it with this laser.
Okay. Coming down at me? Yeah, I don't see anything. Thought I saw a flash of it when we first walked up, but it's hard to tell. It could have just been a branch in the wind.
So I saw him moving down, I kind of lost track of him from there. Oh, hang on, there. There, that's him, he's moving around, he's at the bottom, he's like, yeah, he's this head level, he's around there somewhere.
Okay. So he's gonna be at the top of this tree. Oh, I got him. I see him. I think he jumped down. Saw him for like a fleeting glimpse. All right. Well, let's keep trying. Yeah, he's like right there. Oh, I see him. I see him. I got eyes on him. Here, take the phone.
Okay, just drop it, it's fine.
Okay, I am looking at it. I am staring right at it. Oh, I just jumped. Yep. Got him. Where is he now? Oh, I see him. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I'm so close. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I missed that. Oh. Ah. All right.
These guys move fast.
They are so incredibly quick. Is it the flower again? There's just too many escape routes for these honey possums to go. I can see them, I get within like an arm's reach, and then they see me and go bing, and just jump to the other branch. And these trees are super dense. Like the leaves are very prickly, the branches are very stiff, so like moving the tree around is really complicated. I almost had him. I'm not joking, we may want to go back and get my tide pool net because they are so fast. We've got one. Oh, I see two. There's one up high. That one looks like it's really resting easily. Let's go for it. All right, I'm gonna go in for a catch. Yep, okay. Here we go. It's gonna be right here.
Yeah, there somewhere. You're right in front of it.
Should be looking right at it.
Hasn't moved yet.
Oh, I see him. He's up. Oh wait. There's a little bird's nest there.
Ah.
But I think it was one of them because I saw a tail.
He's still there.
Oh wait, I'm looking right at him.
Yep.
I see him. Okay. I'm looking right at him.
Oh, he's moving. He's moving. No, he's running overhead. Huh?
I heard it. This way?
He's up high, actually. He's on a flat. You should be able to see him. He's there. In the back of that.
Got him.
Yes!
Got one. Oh, we got a honey possum, guys. That was awesome. That was awesome. Hi. Oh my goodness. You are the cutest thing I have ever seen. Okay, the sun is coming up. Let's let the light expose the habitat a little bit better, and then we are gonna show you this tiny little creature up close and personal. Oh, guys, look at how small this marsupial is. And yes, I know at first glance, it looks a little bit like a mouse, but in fact, this is a marsupial, namely because of how it rears its young. That when they're, hey buddy, it's okay, it's okay. It's a little nervous, I'm gonna talk a little quieter. So this little honey possum can give birth to 2 to 3 joeys at a time. And when they are born, they are no bigger than a grain of rice, making them the smallest mammal at birth in the world. And then they will be reared in their mother's pouch for up to 3 months before they venture off to find their own flowers. These little honey possums can drink up to 7 milliliters of nectar in a day. That's the equivalent of a human being drinking 50 liters of soda. Could you imagine? So their metabolism is super fast. They are pretty much always hopped up on a good diet of sugar. Hi. Look at that iconic snout, which is developed to help them get at the plant nectar, the flowers in these banksia trees. They are perfectly adapted for their food source. In addition to their slender snout, they also have a very long tongue, which is up to 1/4 length of their entire head. This tongue is covered in, hold on, I gotta get a better grip, sorry guys. We're almost done, we're almost done. We're gonna put you back on your flower, don't worry. Okay, let's see if we can feed our friend here some sugar water. Ready? Oh yeah, look at that. Somebody was thirsty. You can see how it uses that little tongue to lap up the nectar. Yum, 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 yum. Oh my gosh, look how long his tongue is. Now their tongue is covered in bristles that helps it extract the nectar out of the flowers. And just like the bees behind us on the flower, these honey possums are extraordinary pollinators. Without them, this environment would certainly be in peril. They are a very important part of the ecosystem here in Western Australia, and they are also super cool. Like many other marsupials, it is prehensile. Do you see how it grips onto my finger there, how it curls up? That prehensile tail can wrap around branches and allows this tiny little marsupial to grip onto flowers and tree limbs with great efficiency, and they can actually hang and support their entire body weight just with their tail. So me gently holding it here is totally fine for this creature. The base of their tail is very strong and can support their entire body. Now, in addition to its prehensile tail, it also has a very interesting hind foot. Similar to a koala bear, it actually has a thumb that hangs out off the foot, 4 fingers, that allows it to really grab onto stems and limbs so it can get up on those flowers. So another distinguishing feature about the honey possum are those tiny little ears, which are quite large for its head. It has an extraordinary sense of hearing, and that's going to help it stay away from predators that would be out here trying to get them as they're feasting on flowers. Anything from a snake to a bird would make a meal out of a honey possum. They do have striping running along their back. The males have a bit more of a prominent stripe down the back, which leads me to believe that this is a male. Sir, thank you for joining us today on Brave Wilderness. Ow, it's trying to nip me a little bit. Luckily, the honey possum really lacks any serious teeth. It has a couple of flat peg-like teeth, but nothing that's gonna give me a serious nip this morning. You are teeny tiny and super adorable. All right, now these creatures are nocturnal. The sun's starting to come up. I think it's time to put our honey possum back on its flower and let it nap for the rest of the afternoon. You were so good. Thanks for hanging out with us. How about a flower? You want a flower? You hungry? So cool. Oh, coming back? Back to me? Back to me? Oh. You gonna go back? Where are you going? Can I offer you a flower? All right, let's put the honey possum back in the bush. Oh. That's it. That's all she wrote. Honey possum scene. Cut. Beautiful sandstone formations all around us, but that's not what I'm here to show you today. Today, I'm taking you on an adventure with me into a volcano. Let's go. It's hot out here, Corey. Have you ever been inside a volcano before?
I have not.
Okay, neither have I. This is gonna be a first for the Brave crew. The sand that's all around us right now is how this entire valley started. That's why the rock formations are here. This was once called the ancient desert sand sea, but over millions of years, the sand hardened into the rock and the sandstone that we see here before us, with the wind and the water shaping all of the sweeping textures that make it so iconic. Now, this volcano erupted 27,000 years ago, so we're gonna see a lot of stuff like this. Basalt blown out of the volcano and landed miles away. Looks like we got a little bit further to go before we get to the lava field, but man, I'm excited. This is an Adventures with Me for the books.
Straight ahead?
It's gotta be right up here. Let's go. Oh man, this is cool. Ho, that's the lava tube. You can see it's coming up from the earth right there. And a lava tube is pretty much a volcano's drainage pipe. When magma rises to the surface, there's a cap, and that cap pressurizes the magma. It spreads that magma out underneath the ground, forming lava tubes just like this. It is very precarious in here. You can see that the walls are all fractured already. This makes me a little bit nervous. Usually when your gut gives you that feeling like maybe you shouldn't go too much further, that's a good warning to heed, but oh my gosh, this even goes further. If you're brave enough, I guess you could explore through these lava tubes, but I'm not sure it's a very good idea. I think that's enough lava tube adventuring for me today. I'm gonna get back on the surface. Not a cloud in sight today. It is a bluebird sky, which means that the sun is gonna punish us. Every step is well earned out here. All right, there it is. There's our path through. This is how we're gonna get up and over this range of sandstone. If you guys are ready, we got one last heave before we see the volcano. We're gonna get scraped up. This stuff is sharp. We'll have good news and bad news. The good news is it's opening up a lot. Bad news is it's getting really steep. And this is what we call scrambling. It's not walking, it's not rock climbing, it's scrambling. Gotta use your hands, gotta use your feet, gotta wedge your body in between places for more support, and it happens to be a lot of fun. As tiring as it is, I'm really enjoying this. Man, I tell you what, if I was a mountain lion, that's what I would be calling home right there. Don't look down now. There it is. This is so cool. That's the volcano. Surrounded by white sandstone. All right, I think this is where we start making our ascent. I can see the grades getting pretty steep. Probably why they say this trail is for advanced hikers only. Now, volcanoes like this one are known as cinder cone volcanoes. The reason they are called that is because not only are they in the shape of a cone, but when the lava explodes, it does so in very fine fragments like this right here. These are cinders and clinkers. The clinkers have a funny name for a reason, and actually when they roll down hills, they clink. That is why it's called a clinker. Pretty cool, huh? Oh man. Corey, how we doing back there? Okay, legs are on fire. We've come a long way. Look how far. Down from that valley, over that mountain, and then right here to where we're standing. Certainly a full day of adventuring. We're about to see what's waiting on the other side. All right, there it goes. Whoa, there it is. We made it. That's the crater. How cool was this, Corey? One of my favorite expeditions we've done yet. We've taken you on all these wildlife adventures over the years, and we thought it was time to show you what else was out there. So many places on this planet to explore, and we're gonna take you with us every step of the way. But, Corey, if I'm not mistaken, we have a few more steps left. Let's go down in the crater. Wow, not even to the bottom, and it is already an incredible view. Very slippery, very hazardous. Definitely bring your hiking boots if you go on one of these adventures. Just like that. Yes. I just gotta take a moment and just soak this in. Here we are. We made it to the finale of today's adventure inside the Cinder Cone volcano here at Snow Canyon State Park. And now it's time to answer the burning question. I'm sure you're all wondering, Mark, are you and Corey in any danger standing inside the crater of this volcano? No, we're not. And the reason for that is because this volcano is extinct, no longer posing a threat for an eruption. Now, that's not true with all volcanoes. So if you're gonna go on an adventure like this, somewhere else in the world, other than this park, be sure to check out if it's an active volcano or not, and be sure to check with the park services first, because some volcanoes are very, very, very dangerous, and we hate for anyone at home to go on an adventure that got themselves hurt. But this adventure was absolutely epic, if I don't mind saying so myself. We made it to the center of a volcano for the very first time on Brave Wilderness, and I hope you guys enjoy this expedition. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you guys on the next adventure.
Welcome back to Guadalupe, Mexico, the site of our very first great white shark encounters. Aboard the Socorro Vortex, we traveled over 175 miles to this prehistoric island in hopes of getting up close with the world's largest predatory shark.
Here we go.
And as millions of you witnessed, that's exactly what we did. But what if I were to tell you that we really didn't come all of this way for an ordinary shark cage adventure? What if I were to tell you the real reason we came this far was to embark on the single most daring mission we've ever attempted? Today, I will take you even closer to the most famous set of jaws on Earth in a one-of-a-kind shark cage submarine. By now, I'm sure everyone watching this video has at least seen images of a great white shark before. But have you ever seen a Spock? Probably not, because this self-propelled ocean cage is highly experimental and can only be piloted by one of two people in the entire world.
Now, the sharks will let us get close in this, or are they gonna get close to us?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Meet Eric Higuera, our pilot for today's mission, and a world-renowned marine biologist and ocean photographer.
So no matter what, we're not gonna sink.
Well, that could be the second step.
That's not what I wanted to hear. Eric, I want you to say, yeah, we're not gonna sink.
You are in charge of monitoring your own air supply system. I won't be able to monitor that. If you run out of air, it's gonna be your fault.
You're probably asking yourself, or maybe even yelling at your screen, why are you putting yourself in this situation? Well, what we know of these mysterious creatures has been limited to years of topside observation, cage diving, and the infrequent free dive experiences that only a few have lived to speak of. So this vehicle truly represents an evolution in our understanding of the world's most famous shark, which is also perhaps the world's most famous animal. All right, so we had our debriefing with Eric on the self-propelled ocean cage, AKA Spock, and I have to say, I am so excited to get out there and in the water in this research vehicle. This is going to be probably one of the most unique experiences you could have with great white sharks in a safe way without free diving. I mean, certainly someday I'd love to have the opportunity to free dive with great white sharks, but this is about as close as you're gonna get here in Guadalupe. And now all we need to do is go get suited up, get our cameras ready, and get out there for some action. As if this activity in of itself wasn't dangerous enough, the technical nature of this dive was also quite daunting. I would need to wear a full face regulator in order to maybe have communication with the pilot. However, underwater comms are notoriously unreliable. I would also be wearing a pony bottle BC in the case of an emergency bailout, in which I would need to rip off my full face reg to use it. Not ideal. Additionally, I would be wearing nearly 30 pounds of weight without fins, and I would sink like a rock 1 foot outside the confines of the cage. Oh, and did I mention this was an experimental craft? The connections and critical mechanisms were all exposed and at risk of damage from the divers. If I were to kick one accidentally, it could prove catastrophic.
Eric is in the Spock. I'm about to get in the Spock, and then we're about to go get up close.
Okay, Eric, I'm getting.
Okay, here we go, guys. See ya.
This was potentially the most dangerous step of the day, and potentially of my entire life. Jump in, and miss grabbing the cage, you sink. Fast. This was a one-shot deal, a no-miss scenario. This wasn't just water, it might as well have been looking off a 50-story skyscraper. This was it. Whew. As soon as I got hold of the bar, I pulled myself into the cage. And what had seemed roomy on the deck had suddenly shrunk, and there was barely any room to move.
All right, I'm all set. Ready to go.
But what was worse, my headset was silent. The communications had already failed. Eric and I would rely solely on hand signals for the entirety of the dive. In a way, I was now completely on my own. Once settled and breathing normally, I set the cameras and gave Eric the signal to launch. In an instant, we were off. The rush of water pressing against me as we glided below the boat was much more intense than I expected. Great, another obstacle. After adapting to these new sensations, the environment came into view. Clear and brilliant blues to my sides and above, with a dark, ominous floor below, which wasn't really a floor at all. Instead, literally thousands of feet of water. The sharks were all around us, yet none of them were in sight. So we began our descent in hopes of meeting a great white shark face to face. Eric zipped the Spock up and down, checking different depths for shadows and signs of movement. The thermoclines, or temperature layers, were dramatic. Each dive down would zap us with freezing cold water, and the light would retreat right along with it. It was very dark below 60 feet, a perfect environment for these sharks, as they have adapted retinas that are actually split, one part suited for surface light and one part adapted for darkness. And while we certainly require wetsuits to regulate our body temperatures to keep from hypothermia, the sharks are able to regulate their bodies all on their own. We had been looking for nearly 25 minutes without a single sign of a shark. But then, I saw a shadow to my right. it was big. I signaled to Eric to turn starboard, and as soon as he did, a great white swam into view. I should have been alarmed, the way it seemed to appear from nowhere. However, with my camera rolling, I was thrilled to feel our speed increase to keep up with the predator. I couldn't risk missing the shot. The shark easily outflanked us and for a moment seemed to be gone entirely. Then it quickly doubled back and was in front of us again. However, we never really got that close. A first sighting, yes, but the shot we were after, not at all. This adventure was far from over. After the relief of getting some footage had washed over me, I was back on the lookout. Great whites can grow up to 1 ton and over 18 feet in length, and swim at speeds in excess of 30 miles an hour. Even with the spock to protect us, I couldn't help but feel completely outmatched. But who could blame me? It's not every day you find yourself in the kill zone, a favorite hunting ground of the great white. Again, we dashed around the grounds. Only sardines and other fish came into view. And after 45 minutes, I began to think that was it. That was as close as we were going to get. When then, Eric suddenly turned. He must have seen something I hadn't. I knew we were near the boat, but I wasn't quite sure how close. And then I saw the shark. It was swimming straight for us. All I could do was breathe and keep my camera as steady as possible. This was it. The encounter of a lifetime. Time slowed in that moment, and as the shark moved and swam back around for an even closer look, the fact that I was being observed and calculated by this creature was unmistakable. A real connection between myself and the shark that I've been dreaming to meet had finally happened. As it turned and swam away, a sense of relief came over me. I was ready to be back on the boat, but I wanted to tell everyone the tale of how obvious and beneficial vessels like the Spock would be for revealing the true nature of this misunderstood species. I certainly would be walking away today with a brand new perspective that I never thought possible.
Woo! We got really close to a shark. That was awesome. That was the shot we needed. So much more intense than I thought it was going to be. Just give me a second. I need to absorb the fact that I'm back on the boat. Wow, what an experience. Getting to be in the realm of the great white shark and a shark cage submersible. Are you kidding me? That was the coolest thing I've ever done. The water viz got pretty bad at the end, but we did get to see some great white sharks up close. In fact, that last one I thought was gonna hit the camera. Huge thank you to the Socorro Vortex and all the crew that helped us out today. A special thanks to Eric for captaining the Spock and keeping me safe so I get those up close shots for everybody at home. I hope you guys love this episode as much as I did. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a second of the action ahead on Blue Wilderness. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next dive. All right, I'm gonna go warm up and dry off.
As the boat departed back from the mainland, I couldn't help but be grateful for all that took place these last few days in Guadalupe. I knew I would be back. When? I don't really know. For another round in the Spock? Probably not. I won't lie. That was pretty crazy. Sorry, Mom.
We have landed on Rottnest Island off the coast of Western Australia, home to one of the happiest creatures on the planet. The quokka has become a viral sensation for its smiley demeanor, so we brought our cameras with us in hopes of snapping a selfie with Australia's friendliest marsupial. Let's go find a quokka. The only way to get to Rottnest Island is by boat, where it's easy to see that spotting a quokka is one of the main reasons that people make this voyage. Now, these boats follow a very strict schedule for leaving the island, so let's not waste any time and get right to searching. Here we go. I've got 3 hours to explore Rottnest Island to get that selfie with the quokka. Now, of course, they're friendly, but there are some rules.
about encountering the quokka.
It's important to know that we can't actually touch a quokka. We have to respect them and not give chase if they want to walk away. Now they are curious, so hopefully they'll approach us if they're feeling friendly, but at the end of the day, they are wild animals and we don't want to stress them out.
But hopefully I'll be able to get up close enough with this camera to snap a selfie.
What I have here is a 360 camera, and it's capable of capturing images from any direction, so this will come in handy when trying to get our quokka selfie.
Throw that in the trash. Beautiful place.
Great view, but I think the quokkas will be closer to the bushes and the shrubs off of the beach. Those plants are their food source, so that's where I bet they'll be.
Now, these animals are endangered, but are found in their highest concentrations here on Rottnest. And they could literally be anywhere. We're seeing lots of quokka poo all over the place. This is a good indication that we are on the right track. This is fresh. Do you guys know what that is? What do you get when you mix a quokka and a poodle? Quokka poo. Blech. So far, no quokkas, but we do see one. We should be able to get some good video. A lot of the quokka are likely taking cover already to retreat from the sun. So it looks like this line of trees might be a good bet to get our encounter. We are very far south of the equator. It's only 9:45 in the morning, but the sun has already risen to really high above the horizon. And our guess is the quokkas are already sheltering for the afternoon. So we're going to scan this tree line here and see if we can find any huddled up. Now these aren't very large creatures. They grow to the size of an average house cat. But when early settlers first landed on Rottnest Island, they confused the quokka with giant rats. So that's actually how this island got its name. Rottnest or rat nest is a long-standing term that's held the test of time, but of course is highly inaccurate. The quokka is not a rodent, it's not a rat, it's actually a marsupial, and arguably one of the friendliest little furry creatures living on our planet today. So I told myself if I was ever gonna get the chance to explore Rottnest Island, I was gonna do it because I wanna get my opportunity to get up close with the happiest creature, the quokka, and get my selfie. All right, here we go, we're gonna have a scan. Oh, got one. Guys, we got our first quokka. Hey, buddy. Hello. Hi. I've heard you are the friendliest animal in all of the world. Doesn't really care to say hello right now, though. Let's see here. Let's try going around this way. Hi. How are you? Do you want to come over to me? Say hi? Do you like cameras? No? No, you don't like cameras, huh? That's okay. We'll leave you be and find another quokka for our selfie. Let's move on. All right, guys. We have a quokka. Go be calm. I'm going in for the selfie. There it is. Hi, buddy. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a quokka, and it's hopping away. Hi. Let me go with my camera, see if I can get my selfie. That's a quokka. Let's see if I can get my selfie. Ready? Hi. Hi. Nope, didn't get it. This little guy doesn't want us getting super close, so we're just gonna have to film with our zoom lens and find a happier quokka for our selfie. Oh, there's one on the other side of this wall.
You do it.
Look at this guy. He looks like he's smiling. Look at that. He's just hanging out on the other side of this fence though, so we'll leave him be. Hello. We're here for a quokka selfie. Can we hang for a bit? Now these quokkas in the fall will give birth to joeys that will be carried around in their pouch while they're being reared, just like a kangaroo, but it is nap time. Check that out. See, this quokka's about ready to go down for its afternoon nap. I think that means no selfie from this little guy. Gotta be under these trees. All right, guys, we have our quokka. I'm gonna come in, try to get my selfie with the quokka. Look at how tiny they are. Look at their hind feet. Definitely classic marsupial rear leg, and they can't hop. No, 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 no. All right, this is becoming tough. We are in the last hour of our search. Unfortunately, this midday sun is not working to our advantage. This is proving to be a little more challenging than I think any of us expected. Gotta find the friendliest quokka we can, and we gotta find it fast. This makes sense. Got a lot of shade, and we've got a quokka right there. Guys, this is our quokka. Here we go. Hi, buddy. Hi. I'm gonna approach slowly. Go around this way. Look at him. There he is. I'm gonna take off my pack carefully. I'm gonna grab this GoPro. In case we wanna film with it. Hi, buddy. You guys come around to the other side. Having a little lunch. Hello. How are you? Okay, guys, we've got one. We are so happy to see you. I'm just gonna put this here. It's okay. No, no. Come back. Come back. It's okay. Come on back. Here. Here. It's okay. Yum, yum, yum. So, the quokka is very difficult to locate in mainland Australia. You can see why they would get into so much trouble with invasive species or other predators. Here on Rottnest, they do a very good job limiting the amount of feral cats and foxes that would make a snack out of a quokka. So it makes complete sense why their population is doing so well. And you are so cute and friendly. I'm gonna get a little closer, okay? Just a little bit closer. Look at it, how cute this animal is. There you go. You want this? You want this? I thought you were having lunch. Okay, we're gonna get ahead just a little bit. You can see this quokka is about to go down for its afternoon nap, but we came all this way. Gotta get that selfie. I don't think I've ever held so many cameras at once. But we're gonna get that selfie. All right, let's go, guys. Hey. Hey. We found it nibbling on this branch. There you go. Yum. All right. We're gonna let the quokka get a little more comfortable, then I'm going in. That looks good. I'm hungry too. Hungry for a selfie. All right. It's you. It's you.
Dang it. All right, we spooked the quokka. That's not what we needed. All right, guys, we're so close. Gosh, our ferry's coming up soon. We gotta get out of here.
Just when it started to look like the quokkas of Rotten Nest Island might be too shy for this selfie mission, something unbelievable happened.
Oh, we have more quokkas. I'm gonna have to leave these cameras behind, go in with the phone. I'm only gonna get one more shot. Hi. Here. Oh my goodness, this is it. We just hit the quokka mother lode. This is what appears to be 2 parents and a little baby Joey. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna try to get my selfie before I lose my chance. Hi. Hi. There it is. Hey buddy, smile for the camera. Hey. Got it. All right, that was it. We got our selfie with the quokka. Let me check it. Let me check it. Hang on. Are you kidding me? Guys, we nailed it. Maybe my best selfie of all time. That was awesome. Oh, what a day here exploring Rotten Nest Island and getting up close with one of the friendliest creature and possibly the happiest animal on the planet, the one and only quokka. No, that's not Camp Crystal Lake. This is Swan Island, one of the most notorious and haunted places in all of the eastern United States. Back in 1936, all of the residents up and vanished, leaving behind their homes and many of their possessions that are still on the island today.
We are one of the first film crews to be granted access to these abandoned houses in years, and our goal will be to find evidence to prove if the island is truly haunted. If it is, then that might be why so many residents vanished nearly 100 years ago.
We might find some scientific reasons as to why. We also might find some other things that are more on the paranormal. Either way, this is gonna be one heck of an adventure. All right, so we just did the intro and we already have some crazy stuff happening. We haven't even gotten to the dock yet. Chris, you said you saw somebody sitting on the rocks?
I swear, like they were sitting right there. That's where I met the rangers yesterday. That's not a person sitting right there. I thought they waved.
We both saw somebody wave at us, but now there's nothing.
Oh man. It's not even nighttime. Like we haven't even got on the island yet.
I have no idea what's in store, but I can tell you it's already getting weird. We're gonna be meeting up here with the park rangers in just a few minutes. They're gonna tell us a little bit more about the history of Swan Island and some of the things that they have witnessed because they are here every single day. Those are actually their tents right behind our campsite. So they've got some great stories to share, and then we're gonna head off into the night to see what we can find. I'm a skeptic. Like I don't really believe in like supernatural or paranormal things, but
would believe. I'm not really a huge believer on that stuff either. I mean, after being out here for 3 summers and being alone sometimes out here at night, it can be your mind playing tricks on you, but there's some things you can't explain. One time I was down by the water and I don't see any kayaks or canoes. No one was supposed to be there that night for camping. I didn't see anyone, but at clear as day, it sounded like someone was yelling and it was in distress, but no one was there.
Wow.
And it's kind of crazy too, because 3 people drowned out there back in the 18 or 1900s.
So you're maybe swaying to the side where you believe that there's something going on.
Part of our job was checking on the houses to make sure no animals are getting inside of them. So we were doing our normal rounds, went upstairs, and there was this bird skeleton on the ground, fully intact, except its head was a foot away from it, which is really weird.
And you keep track of who's here to go in the house that's blocked off.
Whoa. So can you tell us a little bit about like the last people who lived here? Like who was the last person to like live in the last house?
Yeah, so that would have been the doctor. He was one of the last people probably to leave here.
There's some rumors about the doctor was maybe up to some pretty strange things.
Yeah, rumors of, him in the occult and witchcraft and having a strange obsession with some of the villagers.
So let me get this straight. The last person to live on the island was a spooky doctor who is rumored to be up to some nefarious things, and all his stuff is still there.
Yes.
So he may also still be around?
He could be, yeah.
All right.
Swan Island.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Well, we really appreciate both of your time. Thank you for having this fireside chat with us. And if I jump or scream, don't hold it against me.
So, did all the residents abandon this town due to an escalation in hauntings? Or fear of a doctor who practiced the occult? Whatever it was, it might still lurk in the houses we are now setting out to explore.
This is the Dumaresque house. This is where the family all tragically passed away in the water.
This is the house that Emerald found the bird skeleton.
That's right.
And it's abandoned. So we got to be careful going in here. This place is probably in pretty bad shape.
Yeah. All right,
we're going in. Oh, careful, guys. This is like falling apart. Fall through the floor. Oh, the whole floor moves.
If the Dumaresque family's here, we don't mean any harm whatsoever. We're just walking through the house, just want to see what's inside.
Whoa. Holy smokes, this is old. Look at that.
It's got to be original.
Oh, look at this. They have a support beam they wedged in there because the whole roof.
Oh, okay.
What was that?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep, no, yep.
What happened? What happened?
It was like, it was like someone was like a leg was right there. And,
a leg?
Yeah. No kidding. I got it on my GoPro. I'm not gonna check the GoPro right now because.
A leg. I mean,
it was like somebody just it was like a okay. You go right ahead. It's like someone just ducked right back in here, like right in here.
This little
like they just went in there.
1, 2. Oh man, I just saw something through the floor.
So you know what's really messed up about that room that you're going in?
What's that?
This is where they would put like sick people.
Oh, I thought
this is like back in the 30s and the 20s and like 1800s, like when you were sick, like in Harry Potter, or like when Harry Potter was bad, they put him in it. Like that's where they put sick people. Like sick people. I don't want to. All right, I gotta get out of this room.
That is a weird.
I'm not looking for this kind of stuff to happen to me. Like,
let's go. Whoa, dude! Look at this. Are these claw marks on the wall?
Stop. Whoa. Shh. Whoa, that's just me.
Okay.
And there's some letters. Come on down. What are the letters for? K-E?
K-E?
Let's see if it's... All right,
what's this way?
That way looks like a dangerous crawl space. That looks like the bird room. This is looks like her photo.
Oh yeah. This is it.
Black light time. Let's do it. Shoot it.
Good. Oh, I can see. That's gotta be where the bird was.
That's the bones.
Yeah, you can see where there was blood here. Look at that. See all that? That's definitely like fluid. Okay. Where'd the bird go?
Upon further investigation of the Dumaresque house, I noticed a pile of scat that might be a clue to the culprit for the decapitated bird.
Oh my gosh, giant poops. Bobcat?
Dude, it's a bobcat. That's probably what got that bird.
Yep.
All right, we can tell the Rangers we found the bobcat. Okay, well, I'm sold.
I will not deny that was one of the creepiest houses I've ever been in.
We informed the Rangers of the bobcat scat, but upon revealing its location, we made a startling discovery about the letters painted on the door.
I wasn't there this morning.
You saying you never saw it?
I didn't notice it this morning when we came in here.
Yeah, like where did they get white paint from?
I don't know, because there's nothing in here that's painted.
I mean, they literally were here.
No one has access inside these homes other than the rangers on the island. So things seem to be getting creepier as we head off into the night toward the next house.
It's definitely creepy.
I think we should do a quick walk around and then go inside.
I like the way you think.
Yeah, I know. I mean, based on her story, I'd rather like sweep the perimeter.
I'm just picking something up on the shotgun.
All right, follow the sound. Wait, you're right. What? Okay, what is that? Like, honestly, is this a prank? Like, did you guys have somebody go out there?
I mean, it sounds like a wolf.
Okay, what is that? Like, it's not going away. It's like coming and going. It sounds like a group. We're by the water. Seals.
Seals? Yeah, no, that's what it is.
Okay.
We just heard a group of seals.
I mean, you can understand why like superstition is such like a huge thing out here because listen to that. It's like legit sounds like ghosts.
Well,
like, you gotta be kidding me.
That's crazy.
Of course.
I didn't even put together. I mean, we've been like on the island for so long, I forget that there's like an ocean right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This night is just getting weirder and weirder and weirder.
Pretty sure a bobcat and some seals weren't enough to scare this town into abandonment back in the 30s. But perhaps what we're about to discover in the doctor's house would have.
All right, we're doing our scariest inspection of the night.
There it is. This is one of the most haunted places in the entire eastern United States. Like, this is no joke. A lot of people had some dark things happen to them, and they left. A lot of them, the whole town left, 1936. And one person stayed behind and was still treating people like a doctor. Clearly, they're not taking care of a village. The whole residents, like, they all took off. So what was going on in this house? You heard the ranger say it. Occult things were rumored to be going on in this house. This is like the epicenter. We're going up the highway. Like, this is the end all be all right here. And we are gonna go inside and walk into his laboratory. It does not get creepier than this.
All right, I won't lie. I'm on high alert right now.
I bet you are, buddy.
I think I'm
We're gonna do this or what?
Yep, you guys ready?
Yeah. No.
All right.
Come on. Yeah, they took the lock off for us. Mark, you're first, man. Oh, geez. Oh, come on. That's a joke.
It's a big saw blade and a creepy bust. What the heck? All right, here we go, guys.
It's a big step.
Did you hear that?
What is that? You know what? I'm gonna like check behind this doctor's. This is kind of a weird looking door.
Oh.
Okay, I think I found the doctor stuff. Yep, these, oh, that's sick. That's all the tools that a doctor would use.
Oh, that's a vise. Yeah. That looks
bone saw.
Bone saw.
Oh my God, why did I pick that up?
That's definitely amputated legs.
I shouldn't have picked this up. Sorry, that's so gross. If there was a room to check out, it would be the doctor's operating room, because clearly he was doing some really creepy stuff with a bunch of really nasty tools.
Whoa, is this the chair?
Oh, no way. That's gotta be the chair. This is a doctor of the occult, so let's see what the black light reveals.
Yeah, we can turn off this.
I mean, let's go lights out, gents.
Lights out.
Lights out. Oh no. No. Okay. Oh man, I thought that was like blood or something. It's not. Okay.
What about the heat detector?
Yeah. No, you're right. Let's do the heat detector. Okay. Mark, go stand over there so I can give a reference of if there's. Okay, you see how Mark looks.
Kill my.
Yep. What? No. There's something on the chair, man.
What do you see? Like the paper?
Right there. Look at my.
Where? Me?
Dude. Okay. Look on the chair. There's a circle on the chair, man.
That is a hot spot on the chair.
Okay.
What part of the chair?
I think that's great. Like, okay. All right. I get it. I see it. I'm good. I'm out. I'm so out. Are you serious? Okay, I'm out.
All right, let's go.
I'm walking.
Out of here.
Woo. I just want to get back to the campsite, honestly. Like, this has been a lot for me. Like, I do have like anxiety at times, and like my heart is racing, and like this is enough for me personally. Like, I don't ever want to go in that house ever again. I'm dead serious. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I know like we're doing this YouTube thing and we're like looking around for stuff. I'm dead serious.
Whoa. GoPro just fragged out.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it literally popped up as soon as you said that. Just fragged out. I've never seen that before on a GoPro, and now it's.
Okay.
All right, let's go back.
Yep. I mean, like, let's just.
Bye. Sorry.
I'm good.
Cutting.
All right, we are packing up and preparing to head home. Morning has arrived, and this will officially conclude our exploration of Swan Island. Tell us in the comments section below, do you believe Swan Island is haunted? I'm curious to hear what everyone has to say. All right, well, that about does it for us. We're gonna finish packing up camp, paddle back across the estuary, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Happy Halloween.
The murky water eventually gave way to a crystal clear expanse, and it became obvious. This Clearwater Spring wasn't just their home. This was a manatee paradise. I want to thank Deal Dash for sponsoring this video. They helped make this story possible, and without great partners like them, we wouldn't be able to update you on the current situation facing this species. Deal Dash is an online auction site that lets you compete for huge savings on brands you know and products you love. We're talking up to 99% off, guys. Okay, so let's give this a shot. There we go. Every adventure needs a new set of binos, am I right? So here's how it works. You buy a bid pack, you can get like 10, 50, 100, etc. bids. Each bid raises the price by 1 cent, and the auction clock restarts at 10 seconds every time someone else bids. And I'm gonna bid on these right now. Dang it! So I'm gonna go big. I'm gonna go 150 bids on the Bid Buddy. Ready? 150. Book them. Fingers crossed. Oh, we won! We won! We got, yes! So that was awesome. Right now there's a good promotion going on. If you're a fan of Brave Wilderness, if you type in wilderness as the promo code, you get 100 free bids on the purchase of your first bid pack. So go check out Deal Dash, have some fun. Maybe you'll win something like we did today. And now it's time to get back in the water with the manatees. The freshwater springs of Florida are a manatee's favorite sanctuary for a reason. The springs stay a warm 72 degrees year-round and serve as an oasis during winter months, as manatee lack the body fat of other marine mammals, making them susceptible to cold snaps. I know it's hard to believe, but trust me, they get chilled easily. Although manatee can grow up to 10 foot long and weigh 1,200 pounds, they are a fragile indicator species. They do not tolerate pollution or changing climate well at all. In just the last 2 years, it is sadly reported that we have lost 25% of all Florida manatee. As I swam further into the manatee spring, they began to approach in great numbers. One by one, they would appear and then swim off again, almost to test and see if we were there for the right reasons. When you're in the water with them, there are ground rules, including respecting restricted areas, no feeding, and the biggest of all, which is no grabbing or chasing a manatee. You should always watch from a respectful distance. If they want to approach you, trust me, they will. Manatees are naturally curious and very gentle, but they are also enormous and not nearly as slow as they might seem. If they're around you, it's because they choose to be. If they want to leave, they can in the blink of an eye. Manatees are very social creatures, and when they want to make contact, it's abundantly clear they're choosing you. Almost like a friendly golden retriever, they will nudge you and extend their flipper to connect with their new human friend. This typically lasts for only a moment or two, then they're off again. However, what you're about to see is the most amazing manatee encounter I have ever experienced. Manatee have a unique language and can speak to each other, so it's easy to hear when they get excited. I don't know what this one was saying to the rest, but whatever it was certainly had them more curious. So much so, I was essentially swarmed. Seeing this many manatee in one place was a rare and amazing sight. There must have been over 100 of them. Their eyes would follow mine, and their connection to me was clear. Every time one would leave, another would approach looking for the same attention. And it was easy to get lost in the awe of their playful behavior. After about 30 minutes, I had truly lost count of how many manatee had approached the camera. And compared to my previous experiences, I knew that this one was special. And sadly, perhaps the last time I would ever see so many in a single place. I could have stayed in the spring forever, but as light started to fade, it was time to make our way back to the kayaks. And for some of us, it was easier than others. We kayaked through what seemed like a desert, where seagrass once thrived, only to witness manatees struggling to feed on what little grass remained. Manatees need to eat up to 150 pounds of vegetation each day, and without thriving seagrass, we witnessed mothers and calves heading back out to the frigid sea to find more food, and that should not be happening this time of year. The loss of seagrass is a big factor to why so many manatee are dying, but there are also more established threats, including pollution and changing weather patterns. And then there are the boat strikes. These are the saddest of all, as many manatees each year are hit by boats, with many not surviving these machine encounters. It is truly heartbreaking to see pieces missing from their tails and large scars covering their entire bodies. It's also a reminder that we need to do a better job to look out for these animals if we are to share their habitats for recreation. They are so special, and aside from our furry canine companions, the manatee are perhaps humans' best friend, at least when we're in the water.
Woo! Wow. It is never a bad day when you get to swim with the Florida manatee, but let's all do our part in preserving this experience for generations to come, and more importantly, their environment and source of food. If you want to learn more about what you can do from home, check the link in the description below, savethemanatee.org. That's where you want to go to learn more about the issues to help this majestic species. I'm Mark Vins, be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.
As we journeyed home, the manatees saw us off. And I wondered if this might be my last encounter with these gentle giants. I hope we can all do our part to ensure the future of manatee. But if you have ever wanted to see one in the wild, I recommend you don't wait to catch a glimpse of one of the most endearing animals on the planet. There are less than 6,000 manatees left in the state of Florida, and they desperately need our help before they disappear forever.